Let's get straight into this. So on your screen, you can probably see my account. So it's relatively simple to sign up. You go on the Apple Store, you go on the Android Store, and you download the app Trading 212. Alternatively, what I would advise, because I don't get paid by Trading 212 for this video, you use the link below. I get a free share and you also get a free share. So just click on the link below and that's going to allow you to download this app. And once you register, you will be given a free share and they'll also give me a free share for introducing you to this company. Okay, so you guys can see right here, this is my account. Just over £21,231 in the account. So I'm literally just going to show you my live account. As I said, don't judge me. And I'll show you how it works. I'll show you what I'm investing in and I'll show you what you can also invest in and how this app works. So by the end of this video, you are going to become a stock market investing ninja. So let's go. So as you can see, that's my portfolio balance, 21,230.25 pence. You can see right here, I have free funds of 61 pence. So if I wanted to make a further investment, if I wanted to invest in any companies right now, I would have to click on a link, which I'll show you how to do later, and add more funds from my account into this specific app called Trading 212. So as you can see here, these are some companies that you can actually invest in. There are thousands and thousands of companies that you can actually invest in. First thing I recommend is you sign up, you create your account, and you create, as you can see, the orange tab right there, you create a Trading 212 Invest account. There's a Trading 212 CFD account, there's a Trading 212 ISA account. What I'm showing you now is how to create a Trading 212 Invest account, which means you can invest in stocks and shares. So before we go into that, again, just a quick reminder, if you want to get some free shares, once you register on Trading 212, you would also get what they call an affiliate link, which is similar to what I'm showing you right now. You can send that to your friends and family. Once they sign up to Trading 212, you would be gifted with a free share in a random company, and the person you recommend would also be gifted a free share. So let's jump straight into this. Okay, so you can see here, if you wanted to top up your account, you can link your bank account to Trading 212. So when you want to make a trade, you can just automatically top up. Just before we get further into this, while you are setting up your account, at the beginning, Trading 212 will ask you a few questions about yourself. I believe it's due to regulatory reasons. They've got to make sure you are of sound mind. They've got to make sure you are slightly aware of what you are doing and you're not just coming to gamble your money away. So they will ask you what your current salary is. They will ask you what your job is. They will ask you what you earn, what's your spending habits. It's just for them to have an informed picture of who you are, and then they will then open your account. So what you can do at this moment, as you can see from the screen, you can buy shares in pretty much any company that you can think of. And one of the reasons I say to every single person is, if you are thinking about buying a luxury item, the first thing you want to do is own a part of that company. The point I really want to emphasize is, if you are thinking about buying a luxury item, rather than buying that luxury item, what you might want to do first, and this is what financially savvy people do, is they buy a stake in that company. For example, if you wanted to buy something from Louis Vuitton, rather than buying that expensive bag from Louis Vuitton, what you might want to consider doing is investing in LVMH first. Or for example, if you wanted to buy a Burberry item, you could invest in Burberry directly. I'm going to show you an example of a company like Amazon. So you type in Amazon into the search option. So whatever company you're thinking about, type it into the search option first, and we've just typed in Amazon, and you can see in order to buy one share in Amazon, it's going to cost you $3,104. And you can also see that the market is currently closed because it's an American share, which means the stock market or the market for Amazon is going to open around 2:30. So it's not available right now to trade or to buy or to sell. But I'll just use this as an example. If you wanted to buy shares in Amazon, it would usually cost you over $3,100. But why I like this specific company, Trading 212, is because what I mentioned earlier on, fractional shares. A fractional share means rather than spending $3,100, which is what puts a lot of people off from investing. Because you go in the stock market, you say, oh my God, I've done the fundamentals, I've done my research on Amazon, I believe it's a great long-term growth stock, I believe it's amazing, they've got great leadership, and you feel confident, and now you're ready to invest, and you log onto the stock market, or you log onto your broker or your app, and you're about to buy it, and then you find out that it costs £3,000 for one share. It puts most people off. So guess what we do instead? We go and spend our money elsewhere. This will help you invest more. Have a look at this. So if you wanted to buy shares in Amazon, as you can see right here, let me go, you press on the buy button, and if you can see right here, let's go, you could buy any amount of shares that you want in Amazon based on whatever you feel like investing. So as I said, if you've only got £10, you could buy £10 worth of Amazon shares. But let me give you an example. Let me show you an example. Let's imagine you only had £1. Now bear in mind, as I said, this account only has 61 pence free funds available because I've used up all my funds here. But let's just imagine I had £1, as it's allowing me to show here. It means I would be able to buy 0.00042 of a share in Amazon. Now in your mind, you might say, well, that's not enough. That doesn't do anything for anyone. But the reality is, you've got into a position in a good investment or in a good company for just £1. Now, in most cases, you could spend that £1 on buying a double cheeseburger from McDonald's, or you could buy a percentage of that company. That's the logic. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand, that you don't need, or you no longer need to have tens and tens of thousands of pounds to invest. Now, one of the strategies I utilize is very simple. If I decide that I want to go out with my friends on a weekend and I want to spend, let's say, £200, if I spend £150 at the end of that night, I've got £50 left. And in that case, I've got money that I was willing to spend, but now it's spare change. I might as well throw it in the stock market. So at that point, you've got £50 that you can throw into any company that you know will do well for you long term. So have a look here. So you've got the other option. You could simply just use that scrolling, that scroller that's going across. And if you had money in the account, it will allow you to make an investment. Alternatively, you can just click on the button. You can just click on the buttons and input how much you would like to invest. I started this account in March, I think at the beginning of lockdown, so maybe March or April. My return so far from investing £14,000 in the stock market in 7-8 months is yielded £6,430. So again, this is the reason why I'm pushing people to say at least start investing, even if it's your spare change in the stock market. Okay, so let me give you another example of one of the companies that I'm involved in. It's Tesla. So I'm sure you've probably read the news and you've seen Tesla's doing amazing things at the moment. So you go into the search option, as it shows here, and you type in, let's say, Tesla. And as you can see from the screen, to buy one whole Tesla share, to buy one whole Tesla stock would cost you $604. Now, with other companies, with most traditional brokers or stock investment platforms, if you wanted to buy some shares in a company like Tesla, you would typically have to buy one whole share, which would cost you $604. But in this platform, Trading 212, based on what we're talking about, which is fractional shares, you can buy a fraction of a share. I hope you caught that. You can buy a fraction of one share. So let me give you an example. You can see it says there also the market is closed. Again, it's an American stock, and I'll show you now when it opens right there. So I'm recording this video at 12 o'clock, and it's saying to me that the market will open to start trading in 2 hours and 7 minutes, which is 2:30. And again, remember, in this account, I've got 61 pence, so it's not going to allow me to buy. But if I had £1, let's show you an example. If I had £1, it would allow me to buy 0.0021 shares of Tesla. So you're going to get 0.0021 shares of Tesla, which is a fraction, hence the word fractional shares. It's a fraction of a share. Now again, to many people, like, why would I want to buy 0.021 shares in Tesla? Well, because if Tesla skyrocket, your 0.0 whatever percentage is now worth something. So would you rather get £10 or nothing? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. So let's move on. Alternatively, if you had 1,500, as you can see on the screen, it will allow you to get 3.29 shares in Tesla. Bear in mind, do the maths, it costs $600 to buy one share. So if I had 1,500, I would be able to get 3 shares, because remember, I'm being charged in pounds. So what I actually like about this specific app is it gives you all the fundamentals. Yes, of course, you still got to do further research, but just on the platform, if you're looking at a specific company, it gives you all the data that you need to understand what this company stands for. And you can see the graphs, you can see the history, and you can see past performance, as you can see just here. So as you can see here, company details, CEO Elon Musk, they've got 48,000 employees. They're based in Palo Alto in the US. Their industry is auto and truck manufacturers. Their market cap is, wow, 600 billion. Their revenue is 24 billion. Earnings per share, 0.83. And just gives you all the financials. Gives you the income statement, net income, revenue, just every single thing you need to know about the company. So it's very, very important to also look at these things as well. What I like about this app is it breaks down and puts everything into different categories. So it makes it easy for you. So if you say, look, I'm a big fan of fashion, I'm a big fan of the automotive industry, I'm a big fan of pharmaceuticals, you could simply find stock based on those criteria. So right here, it says they've categorized things into most popular, into dividend paying stocks, into growth stocks, into high volatility stocks, into companies that are low volatility. It literally breaks down every single thing for you to make your choices easier. So here, for example, let's click on most popular stocks, and it's showing you what's most popular, what people are buying at the moment, what people are talking about at the moment. So Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, iShare Global, just so many of them. So you're sport for choice at this point. So having a look at this, we're going to the most popular shares at the moment. So Tesla, Amazon, Apple, BP, Microsoft, Facebook, Netflix, Nike, Walt Disney, Uber, Aurora Cannabis. So it literally just says these are the companies that are popping right now. And you can click on them and do your research into all of these companies. Again, let's look at companies that have been deemed as high volatility. So it just depends on your risk appetite. Are you someone that likes a bit of risk? Are you someone that wants a balanced portfolio? So you've got a bit of risk, you've got a bit of low risk, you've got some funds, you've got some bonds, you've got some ISAs. These are the things that you've got to determine. You can also, so if you're in the US, if you're in the UK, if you're German, if you're French, it's entirely up to you. So if you've got an inkling about a company over in the US and you want to research that company or you want to buy that company, they've also broken it down into different countries. So if you want to buy, let's say, shares in Tesco, for example, it will fall under United Kingdom. If you wanted to buy some Facebook shares, it will fall under USA. So they've pretty much systemized everything to make your investing journey simplified. So let's click on United Kingdom, and then it goes into further categories. Do you want to invest in energy companies? Do you want to invest in consumer discretionaries? They've literally broken it down. Do you want to invest in healthcare companies? So for example, let's go into this. Have a look at this. If you wanted to invest in energy companies, then it will be people like BP, it will be Royal Dutch Shell, it would be Premier Oil, and all of the below. What I also love about this app is just right at the top, they've pretty much spelled things out for you. So you can look at what we call top winners. These are people who they've done well over the last few days. You can also look at top losers. These are companies that have taken a hit. You've got popular, you've got US stocks, you've got UK stocks, you've got companies that are brand new to trade in 212. Then we've got ETFs and indexes. So you can create what we call watch lists. A watch list is a company that you are interested in. So rather than finding a company, jumping into it straight away, you can create the watch list and you can name it whatever you want to name it, and you can keep an eye on it over some time. So these are companies that you're seeing here that I've been watching for quite some time. Some of them I've gone into, like Palantir. Right here, I bought shares in them. Barrick Gold, I've bought shares in. Moderna, I've bought shares in. Medical Cannabis, I've bought shares in. These are companies that I was eyeing up and I was doing my research on, and I was watching how the market behaves before I actually jumped in. So if you've got cold feet, or if you're not certain at the moment, you can create what we call a watch list, which allows you to keep an eye on it and you're able to see what's going on with regard to that specific company before you trade or invest in it. So most of the companies in my watch list I've actually invested in at some point, apart from Alibaba. But this is what's really interesting, and this is a function that I've totally fallen in love with, and I've only started to explore it about a week ago. It's what they call pies, and it's such an incredible way to help you grow your money. I'm going to walk you through it. Pie means you can buy a bunch of different companies, and you can automatically invest your funds into those companies on a monthly or regular basis. I'll give you an example right here. Let's go into this one. So let's say you want to build your pie. So you can choose from a varied amount of companies. For example, most popular, dividend paying companies, growth companies, high volatility, low volatility. And let's click on this, for example, and let's go into right here. Okay, so let's say I've clicked on most popular, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, and BP. They've come up as some of the most popular. And let's imagine I wanted to build a portfolio, or I wanted to build a piefolio. I love that word, they should pay me for that. I want to build a piefolio around those 4 companies. So I would click on those 4 companies. So I can then choose what percentage of my funds, out of 100%, what percentage I want to go into each individual company. So let's say here, for example, I've got 4 companies. What I should do is put 25% across all the companies. So if I was investing £40 per month, then guess what? £10 per month would go into each of these companies. So you get to play around with the ratios, again, based on your risk appetite. You can see here, I'm just going to play around with some of the percentages. So let's imagine I put 37% of my funds that I'm putting every single month into BP. I increase my holdings in Amazon to 69%. Obviously, it needs to add up to 100%. So I'm going to readjust those until I get 100%. Let's go. Okay. We're nearly at 100%. There we go. We are just at 100%, which will now allow me to go to the next level. So now I've got the choice. Do I want to auto invest? As it says here, set an investment schedule and automate your deposits, or invest manually using free funds in your account. So you can choose. You can either let it automatically make investments into that pot for you, into your piefolio for you, or you can just transfer the money in yourself every single month. So let's go and have a look at this. And this is really cool and really quirky. So it allows you to see what your projected revenue is going to be. So it says here, just based on the companies, these are high growth stocks that we've invested in, some risk elements as well. It's saying after 10 years, I would have contributed £120. After 10 years, I would have contributed £120,000, and that £120,000 based on the stocks moving up, or based on the stocks increasing in value, that will be worth £651,000. And you can adjust how many years you want to invest for. You can adjust when you want the payment to come out of your account every single month. Again, look at the sliding scale. As you can see, if I left the money in there for 40 years, which means I would have invested £480,000 based on those specific companies that I'm looking at, I would have £2.8 billion. This is the reason why people need to start early, because we're talking about compound interest, we're talking about compound growth, we're talking about long-term growth in the stock market. So let's go into this very quickly before we start to round up. And you can just play around, and you can choose what your monthly, you can choose what your initial deposit would be. You could start with just £2, or you could go all the way to £30,000. So it's entirely up to you what you want to start with. And that's what I love about this app, because it's totally flexible. And just the last thing before we finish off, guys, they've got something called 212 hot list, and I'll just briefly go through this very quickly. It just shows you what other people are investing in, where other people are throwing their funds as well. As you can see, a lot of people, and Tesla is right at the top of the leaderboard, and there's a reason why, because Tesla's hot at the moment. Apple number 2, Amazon number 3, Neo stocks number 4. It also shows you the loser stocks, who's rising and who's losing money. This really helps for you to determine what's going on, where other people are putting their funds as well. So again, just before we round up, here's my affiliate link, guys. You can literally just copy and paste that, which means you get 1 free share and I get 1 free share. Hey guys, so if you got some value from that, make sure you download the app, make sure you get yourself investing. It's not as difficult, it's not as hard as you probably thought it was. I look forward to sharing my journey. I look forward to hearing from you as well. Let me know if you got some value from this video. I'll catch you soon.